Calvin, and I identify as grey asexual and also bisexual.
My name is Ethan. I identify as pansexual or queer almost, because I think that's a really good encompassing kind of term.
My name is Jay. I identify as neutral and non-binary, and my sexual orientation is panromantic demisexual.
Hi, my name's Beth and I've identified as asexual for a good couple of years now.
My name's Daria. I identify as sort of panromantic and demisexual.
My name's Rachel. I'm pansexual. I'm also genderqueer. So I feel that the word queer just encompasses me in general in both sexuality and gender.
That's actually a hard question in the sense of that I remember when I had seen the definitions of demisexuality and grey asexuality, and they are very similar to me. But it's quite hard to actually say what the difference is.
I can have a romantic relationship with potentially any person regardless of their gender, but then with certain people that can develop into a relationship once that emotional connection is being developed, and so that's where the demisexual element comes into it.
The grey asexual one I like because it seems to be most free of the spectrum, in the sense of that it can fluctuate a lot. There is a potential for sexual relationships, but then you've also got to respect that they may not be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of lack of awareness and almost discrimination without people really realising they're actually discriminating against something.
Quite a lot of people think like I'm asexual because I don't know about sex. Like I can assure you I do. I know the mechanics, I don't see how it could be pleasing. It's like more than we just don't want to, it's our like ingrained feelings.
When I'm identifying myself to other people, I'll often identify as bisexual because everyone knows what that is. And whenever I actually identify as panromantic, it's something I have to explain to them.
There's always assumption on the scene that, oh, are you gay? And you literally say, do I correct them? And how far do I correct them? Do I say I'm bisexual? Then you get the whole, oh, so you're greedy kind of thing. Or do I say I'm pansexual? And then oh, so you like pans or that. And literally, you do feel as if you have to, you know, it's just like I'm out to enjoy myself. I'm not out to be like to educate every single person.
I think LGBT plus has got us so far, but I genuinely think GSRD is a lot more encompassing of that umbrella and a lot more realising that it's nothing is black and white.
As far as the acronym is concerned, I prefer the GSRD because I think that is more inclusive.
I identify in the star, but I don't like being starred because it's pretty much the same as just being othered and put to the side, like, oh, there's just this one person on their own.
Well, in the sense that you say LGBT, pretty much everyone knows what that means because it's sort of been the headliner to the sort of community for quite a while. So people that aren't part of it don't feel a certain way. They sort of can identify quite quickly LGBT. Okay, that's what it means. But obviously, if you fall into the star, then you have to explain yourself, and you have to explain that you still fit into this group, but you're not representing the title. And that sort of extra talk and extra explaining that you have to do, that people may not quite as grasp quite as easily.
Well, there's always been talks of changing the name, and I feel like that would be a great step forward. Because I feel like GSRD is the most inclusive term, although it would obviously take some time to get used to it, because I feel like now in society people in general know what LGBT kinda means, but maybe they don't get the whole of it. And then it would obviously take time, but I feel like we could take a leading role in making that change, so I don't have to feel uncomfortable about being in a star or a plus. Like I'm just like some add-on to this LGBT.
You do get very frustrated and worn out in a sense. I think when people say we're all in this together kind of thing, the sort of feel-good waving flags, but when you talk about your specific individual issues, then they do feel marginalised, I find, because the people who've been creating, oh, so it's LGBTQ now, is it? And it's just literally like, what part of ridiculing and demeaning and undervaluing other people's sexual orientation, gender identities instantly helps to address this in a sense. The fact is, if we are a community, we need to make sure that the people who, the issues that are being faced by individual groups are being dealt with and are being listened to.
I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. I think it's really important because while it won't be in kind of the public's face, it's there as an option to go and learn more, whereas a lot of people probably wouldn't think to just do that on their own, go and like Google it or look into it a bit more. I think it's good because a lot of people haven't even heard of it or have no idea what it is. So having like an awareness day with like stalls and like information, I think that's a great idea.
Like I say, it's not constantly shoved in people's faces, but if it is brought up consistently, people will take note, people will be aware.
I think it's important that more people are aware of it as a thing that exists and isn't something there that just laugh about. The fact that we have supporting the awareness day is already a great thing. It just sort of makes it clear that people aren't alone, and I don't know, potentially having like groups where you can sort of meet, talk to each other, sessions that just make you realise that you're not necessarily alone out there. Like the way you're feeling isn't just unique to you. There are other people out there.
That's why I really like during LGBTQIA History Month. We had a queer question time, and it was lovely, and it was great to just. It was kind of like we're all on the same level, and then just talking about our experiences, and like I definitely learnt a lot from that.
Because like people describe it like as a lack of attraction, like people think, oh, so there must be something missing, but there's not. You're a full human being. You're not like, and it's not gonna kick in at a certain age, because like I know when I was a little bit younger, I was kind of waiting on these feelings, and it took me like embracing that as like, no, okay, that's me.
You can have a romantic relationship with potentially any person regardless of their gender, and that obviously would be sexual, but then with certain people that can develop into a relationship once that emotional connection has been developed, and so that's where the demisexual element comes into it. And so that, in that sense, that and for that person I become pansexual because I am, but that's very limited, and that obviously, for some people I'm quite happy to have a very close, very intimate romantic relationship where, hugs, kiss, kind of thing, but isn't sexual. And for other people that can be that and have the sexual contact, but at the same time that doesn't mean that I think that person any less in a sense. It's just how I feel, and I know it can be different for other panromantic demisexual people.
The key thing is being comfortable in yourself and sort of accepting that you are this way, you're not alone being this way, and you're not wrong for feeling a certain way. I think just sort of not being afraid to talk about it, not being afraid to be yourself, to let other people know that you're not scared of being yourself, that you don't feel wrong for feeling this way, you aren't shy, you aren't ashamed of it, and that it doesn't change who you are as a person. It's literally just a certain way that you feel towards other people in terms of your romantic preferences or sexual preferences. I guess just beyond sort of that, I hope that people will be able to be more accepting and understanding of things, and I think it is a growing thing, and acceptance is definitely increasing, but it's something that's not going to happen overnight.
Love yourself, guys.
Have a queer day.